Well, it's a wild day across the Pacific Northwest as the next system pushes through. We're looking at hurricane force winds along the coast and up over the mountain passes of the Cascades and the Olympic Mountains. Heavy snow, 1 to 2 feet of snow expected over the mountain passes. So certainly if you're travelling today across the Pacific Northwest through Washington and Oregon, please be careful. Heavy rain across the coastal valleys and of course up over the mountains we've got the heavy snow. We've also got an area of low pressure here sitting basically right over Minnesota at the moment. And what that's doing is we've got a front that's trailing down through the midsection of the country. A warm front here, and the problem is as that dry tongue sweeps into Michigan today, we're talking about the thunderstorm development, and there is a severe thunderstorm risk out there, especially across anywhere from parts of northern Indiana, northwest Ohio into Michigan today. That dry tongue pushing through, relatively cold aloft, and you've got heavy showers and thunderstorms developing. You can see that plenty of precipitation pushing through eastern Ohio into western Pennsylvania, and there's a cold front sweeping down here. Over the next 24 hours, folks, we're going to be seeing that front sweep slightly further south, eastwards, and as it does so, it actually weakens. There's no cold air anywhere within this region at all. And what's going to be interesting is we're going to be looking at temperatures today in the upper 60s across the northeast. Have a quick look here off, this is off the Weather Channel, and this is the forecast highs for today. You notice here 66 in New York, 66 in Boston. But look at how warm it is across the Central Plains region here. We've got a cold front associated with this howler of a storm across the Pacific Northwest. But the cold front itself, as it sweeps in, you're activating very strong southerly winds blowing, and that's pulling very, very warm air over Mexico northwards. We're going to be looking at temperatures, record highs across the central and northern plains. But certainly over the next few days, that heat is going to really go to town. Let's have a look at the day tomorrow, and you'll notice here how the temperatures are starting to rise. Look at that, 72 degrees in New York City. The reason for that is as that cold front nudges further east, it's activating stronger south to southwesterly winds. That really is a remarkably warm day. Temperatures probably in the mid 70s perhaps in Philadelphia. Look at that, 78 degrees in Washington DC. But as that ridge starts to build up into eastern Canada, we're looking at a jet stream that's pushing up towards Hudson Bay. This is the upper level chart of the ECMWF. You notice here that's the area of low pressure that's now over Minnesota, activating showers and thunderstorms across the Great Lakes today. Don't be surprised if you see water spouts. The next system pushing the Pacific Northwest, as you can see here, the cold pocket of air over the Pacific Northwest is dipping southwards. As it does so, it pumps the ridge in between the cold front and that system here that's now over Minnesota. As we progress from Monday into Tuesday, you'll notice here how the warmth starts to push into the northeast. As well as that, the warmth is really starting to surge up through the western plains. We're talking 80s as far north, I believe, as South Dakota. Tuesday into Wednesday here, you notice here the cold front pushing through again. It's really pumping that warmth all the way up to the Canadian border. That certainly is by Wednesday looking as if we're going to be seeing 80s well up into the South Dakota region, 90s perhaps further to the south of that. And if you notice as well, folks, as that ridge, like I say, starts to pump towards the Hudson Bay, you run the risk actually of a backdoor cold front pushing into the northeast. So temperatures actually during the mid part of the week could be back down into the 50s across such places as anywhere from Philadelphia, New York City up into Boston. Temperatures cooler. You've got that cooler air as the ridge starts to surge northwards and up into eastern Canada. But by Thursday, you notice here that there's a new system actually pushing into the Pacific Northwest. As it does so, it continues to pump that warm air from Mexico up through the plain states. Thursday into Friday, you see how nothing's changed. It's still warm. You notice here that the warmth is starting to surge up the Appalachian spine as well. So it's a very, very warm looking map. There is no cold air anywhere to be seen, even across southern Canada. Friday, you notice here, by Saturday, you've got a new system wanting to push in. You're going to see a trough digging well in this, to California this time around. By Sunday, look at how hot the weather, that is hot air blowing up through the western plain states. You notice something here, that warmth is really more intense than it is even during the early part of the week. Early to mid part of the week. This actually looks warmer than it does for, you know, the next 48 hours. And the reason being is we've got an actually stronger system pushing into the Pacific Northwest. That is going to dig a trough right down into the southern part of California. Rains, showers, thunderstorms are going to take place, strong gusty winds, perhaps hurricane force winds, and as well as that, we're going to be talking feet of snow over the Sierra Nevada mountains. But this looks very, very impressive for the upcoming weekend, and that warmth is just remarkable indeed. Look at how the warmth starts to surge. That ridge is basically pushing up towards Moosonee on the Hudson Bay coast of Canada, of Ontario. Remarkably warm, that is for sure. But we're going to be seeing over the course of the upcoming week showers and thunderstorms pushing through over the next 24 to 36 hours from the Lakes region in the Ohio Valley into the Appalachian Mountain region. As it does so, activating a strong southwesterly flow, you're going to be talking about temperatures well into the 70s by tomorrow, 60s today, then a cool down mid to late week, and then by the weekend you've got this to play with here. Big strong storm, very deep trough over the west, very warm weather across the plain states, activated and pumped by that trough, the warmth, and then of course all this pushes eastwards. There's certainly no cold air in the long-term forecast that I can see. Keep checking back to firsthandweather.com, my blog. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll try and keep you up to date as much as possible. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye.